Hey gang, we are here with Stanley, and Stanley has a very, very sad story to tell us, and he's in a very, very bad way. Uh, Stanley comes to us today from a very abused background. He's actually being transferred to us by a shelter where he's been held for quite some time, and we haven't had him here very long, but we've already determined that he's got some really big issues. Um, Stanley and two of his litter mates were being held by a guy at a gas station, and it's pretty clear that he's been abused, as were his litter mates. He's been kicked, and we believe by observing him in just the short period of time we've had him here, which is really just a day, that Stanley's been kicked in the head. He's definitely got some neurological issues, and we think he has some vision-related problems due to being kicked in the head. And we don't have any proof of that, so before all of you write in and start saying, get the police on this, get animal control involved, let's all go out back and kill the guy, we can't do any of that. So let's take all that energy, which we'd like to go and take 5 minutes out back with him. I need less time than that, trust me. And let's point it in a different direction. Let's point it in a direction that helps the animals. So we're going to start by checking him in, and we're going to go very, very slowly here, because Stanley needs a nice, quiet approach. And how much? 15. He weighs 15 pounds. And you'll notice as he sits there that his head kind of bobbles. Not because he's smelling, but because he cannot hold it still. It's a neurological dysfunction that he experiences from his abuse. So he may not be doing it this second, but as we move along, you will see it happen more and more. It causes him to see incorrectly and lunge at people, and it causes him to bark inappropriately. So this labeled him a biter, and he did that out of self-defense. We think that the guy probably abused all three by kicking. His sister had to have IVDD surgery, and I believe it's his brother had to work through some really bad behavior issues, all because of the abuse he received. So a gorgeous, gorgeous guy, probably had gorgeous siblings as well, but had a god-awful past. So you see the rocking of his head. See, there he did it again. I have to be around him a little bit. See it? He can't hold his head still. So there's definitely some neurological damage here. And yeah, poor Stanley. So we're not only pouring on the love, we're going to be putting out a plea tomorrow. He's going to be our red paw of the week, probably the next 2 weeks, because Stanley needs an MRI. He needs, a really intense look at what happened behind the scenes to his brain. We're going to do a deep look without upsetting him today. We're going to go as deep as we can to see what's wrong. Stanley, you can't see it, buddy, but the love is pouring across the screen for you. And there you see his head tremble again. He's having some problems. Deb says, I have 4 doxies, and I cannot believe anyone could do this. And we can't either, Deb, but we can tell you that it's true. The 2 ladies that rescued him out of the shelter were heartbroken to let him go. They made us promise that nothing bad would happen to him, and we assured them that nothing would. But getting him down that road to good health is going to take quite a bit of effort. And as we always like to say here, sadly, it takes a village. Look at that face. How could anybody hurt this beautiful little boy? Yet that's all he's known until these 2 ladies came along and said, we're going to make a difference in Stanley's life. And I got to tell you, they battled to get him to us. And kudos to both of them for stepping up and making a difference and rescuing him. They approached us and we said, absolutely, we'll help. But they're the real heroes today for Stanley. Yeah, all the hearts are coming across the screen for you, Stanley. What a beautiful boy. So we're hoping that once we get an MRI, and you'll see the fundraiser's not going to be a small one, it's going up for $5,000. And we're telling you that now. So think about what you can do. You can share when it goes up. See, I can say it today because we're not asking you to do it. This is a time of the year we're going to be getting into our heavy-duty fundraising for the summer.
It's
but,
5
Thinking
o'clock.
about what you can do to help Stanley. When you go to Starbucks, if you're getting a cup of coffee, put aside an equal cup of coffee for Stanley. If you want to give today, you can do pound donate. And Good World will let you help give with just a click of a button. Um, and, just absolutely horrible what this guy has been through. But he's come to us. Lots and lots of love for you, Stanley. Nothing but love for him now, and the best in medical care. So even his body shakes oddly as he sits in the sink getting his welcome bath. Oh, and Deb says that she lost her Stretchy, who has gone over Rainbow Bridge. We are so sorry to hear that, Deb. Yeah, everybody's saying he's so beautiful. Yep. Ellen Fitch lost her little boy Dale. So sorry to hear that. Kimberly's going to fundraise on her page. Thank you. Billy says he's very handsome and what a good boy. He really wants to be. But as you see, he stands there. He doesn't stand there. He's shaking kind of oddly, and that's a neurological tremble that he has. He can't help it, and that's from the abuse he received. And when we sat down and said, we sat and we watched him for a while, because sometimes you get a lot just from observing. You put the stories, the backstories together on these dogs, and you start to build a history sheet. He absolutely can hate men. Our trainer just left, and Terry had a really hard time with him, and he is one of the nicest guys you could meet. We're actually here in our vice president's home, and John was sitting with him, and then all of a sudden he turned around and became very terrified of him. So that was very difficult. But this beautiful, beautiful boy, so abused, and probably abused from the time he was born. The guy at the gas station claiming he found them. But we don't buy that. We hear that all the time in rescue, and then they come in highly abused like this. So we think neurologically we've been down this kind of a path before, and we know the only thing that will tell us the story, the right story, is an MRI. Of course, today we're going to do the blood work because cases like this also haven't had heartworm, haven't had flea and tick, haven't had good nutrition, haven't had so many things, and the blood work will begin to tell us those stories. Just heartbreaking. But now that he's here at the RBC, he's not going to know anything but love. It's hard for them to understand that as he turns around and looks over at you. He wants to be so good, and he wants to give love and be trusted, and he just can't. He's just too terrified, and part of him just doesn't have the ability to see, we think. We think there's a visual problem here because of the abuse that he's received. So, think about it. If you were kicked in the head, let me get some more light on here. If you were kicked in the head, you too would have a lot of difficulties. And he spent those early years with his brother and sister. They're gone for him now. Fortunately, he's here, and he's going to get, he'll be with some other dogs as we figure out which medical home is going to step up and take him. So we figure out what's going on. Hopefully we'll get him down to Red Bank, which is where we go for neuro, and or maybe out to Hope. Not sure. But we're going to get him an MRI and get that evaluation done, because there's definitely some neurological deficits here. But just wants to be really sweet. He's actually befriended Denise, who's giving him his bath, so that's a good thing. He made a friend. But we got to keep him close until we figure out which way is up with this guy. So here he goes. He's going to come out of the tub. And normally at this point we'd be showing you a collar to pick, but we don't have one.
Yeah, for that too.
Yeah, we will be Zooming with Elmo's on Monday, saying please, please, and we'll be doing a huge plea for the Dress the Paws program. So what happened to him? He was most probably, we don't have the exact proof, but most probably kicked in the head. We know that his siblings, one had to undergo spinal surgery, and the other one is also terrified, uh, of what happens and is very shy of men's feet. Both of them are. We might be able to do some laser therapy, but we'll certainly talk to Dr. Lowe about that over at North Star. But we need to get, I can tell you right now, every one of them are going to say the same thing to us, and that is let's get an MRI. So for that kind of therapy or for that type of diagnosis, we go to the top neurologist and try and find out what's going on. So this beautiful, beautiful little boy. Hold on a minute. Frank is here and wants to say hello. Say hi, Frank. Yeah, Frank is standing directly in my camera line, so I guess he just wanted to say hi. Come on, Frank, move up. Thank you, buddy. So one of the things that we do is I don't want to get bitten, but what? We do the eye test. Can we come this way? And if you notice when I do this, he does not blink. Now with this eye he is, but on this side, no blinking, or just a little blink there at the end. Yeah, this eye is damaged. We'll let the neurologist make that decision, but oh my goodness. Well, we'll get him the help he needs. There's help out there. And you know what? Even if there's not help out there, there's help in here. You know what happens to a dog that people consider unplaceable. We help them anyway. But we think there's hope for him. And if not, there's always sanctuary for him. So, it is a very sad story, Chris. And thank God the two ladies that stepped up and helped him did. One lady was Sandy, and I'm so sorry I can't remember the other lady's name. Just incredible. They fought so hard to get him out of the shelter. Yep. Debbie says, why? I don't understand. They're so innocent. We don't get it either, That's why some people are just jerks. Sorry, hate to say it. Not very professional of me, but it's the truth. But we're here to help, and that's why we say, except that he focus on his future, which is going to hopefully be a bright one. We'll get him in and get him the medical care he needs, and we'll help him through not being afraid of people and being afraid of men. We'll teach him what love is. We'll get him on a great diet, of course, immediately. And, we will make sure that he only gets the best from here on out in life. And that all of these tragic memories and this abuse becomes a thing of the past. And something that he never gives a second thought to. The very first dog that ever came to DRVC was a dog that had been abused. And it took him a very long time to get over it. He lived to be 20, and he was very, very happy by the time he passed away. But it took a long time. It took a lot of love. So, yeah. But now we know how to make them love us quicker. So that's a good thing. And we know that there are many, many of you out there with very, very good hearts and very loving homes. So our job is to get them ready to come to you. And hopefully this will be one of those ones. And one of you out there is one of those ones. So, well, gang, we're going to log off because we've got to get this incredible guy some blood work. Thank you for sending all these hearts across the screen and all the tears across the screen. We cry with you for Stanley. And, of course, Frank is crying because who knows what. You're crying too, Frank? Frank, what could be so upsetting? Frank is upset with all of us. Yeah. You see the love is in him. Yes. Yeah. He knows how to love deep down. We just have to... Really, Frank? Frank's apparently touched by this story. Or he's hungry. It's hard to tell. So we're gonna sign off, and we're gonna get the blood work and do what we need to do on this side. We want to thank you guys for tuning in today and watching. Frank, you got to watch live. Stop crying. We don't know what Frank's issue is, but yeah, just say a prayer for this guy tonight. He sure needs it. I know that he's in a loving place right now. Yeah, he's in a very good and loving place tonight, and never again will abuse touch his life. And moving forward, only the best will touch him. So thank you all. We'll be back later. And of course, join us lab side in just a little while for all of the latest in medical results thanks to IDEX. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks, gang. Oh,